And now, stand and cheer for your Olympics 2024.
Welcome to another edition of Talking Basketball Podcast. I am Mark.
I'm Paul.
Hello, and we're bringing you an update, rather from the closure of the Olympics 2024 in Paris.
What an Olympics, Mark.
Oh, it's been really good. I quite enjoyed it.
I personally liked the beach volleyball. That was great.
I liked in the final, I think it was, I want to say it was Canada versus Brazil in the ladies' game, and they the players got a little bit chippy with each other, and where they got chippy,
What game is this?
it was, I think, Canada versus Brazil in the final, and whoever was doing the PA or the crowd, the referee, whoever it was, they playing background music there.
Oh, the beach volleyball.
Yeah, the beach volleyball. So they started playing Imagine There's No Heaven. They started doing that, and everyone started singing along, and then all the players diffused it. But I was like, that's really cool how just someone just played a little bit of music and went, come on. Because they're all getting chippy with each other on the volleyball court.
Yeah.
Oh, beach volleyball rather, but yeah.
And we got some historical moments, you got to say.
Oh,
Australia broke the dancing for everyone. Well done.
Well done, Australia. You have managed to successfully eject.
She actually can dance. If you look at her, other than that, she can actually dance. Do you know what I think the problem is? Is when people overthink stuff. So when they go, right, I'm going in, I need to represent the kangaroo. I need to represent the snake and the wallaby and the crocodile.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the dancing, I get what she was trying to do. She was trying to...
It was a very academic response.
Yes, that's how
to an artistic problem.
And if you've been in academia, in that world, maybe past degree, like masters and PhD, that should make sense to you, if you know what I mean. Because you're looking at going, that's been well overthought, and it's like, it's expressional dance. And I said this right at the start, it's very individual. So that's why I wasn't even sure about that. But
I was going to go with the word crap, but yeah, it was individual, definitely. It's it just was not. There is what I think was sad, right? And I think it's worth us bringing it up is something like basketball has a community, and there's a culture and everything behind it. So the people, when you see these things, like in the basketball in the Olympics, when you see anything like that, you're at the very top of the tier. It's like you're representing that whole community. And you look at that dancer and you go, no, that's not representing the community of break dancers in Australia, I imagine. And there's literally people just going, where was I? No one contacted me. I've won regionals and all sorts of, and you see people who are genuine break dancers just completely overlooked because it might have helped that one of the judges happened to be her husband. I mean, it might have had something.
He wasn't to become the Olympian.
May have helped along the way.
I think he was a coach.
Something along the way, and there was a. But regardless of that,
conjecture, Mark.
Look, nepotism's rife everywhere, so everyone can throw stones.
What I would say, and
it was rubbish, and anyone for Australia is like, you should just never dance again. But
she can dance. If you look at it, when she's not got the Australian suit on and she's doing the Olympic one, she's okay. It's not what you would remember as Olympics, break dancing, spinning around on the floor like you see in all the films and stuff like that.
Well, she technically broke dancing. It's called break dancing. She broke it because it's not coming back. They're like, done.
Break it. Well, the thing is, whoever won that, they can retire undefeated breakdancing champion of all time, Olympic champion.
Yeah.
You know what did make me leading on from
like
this?
Kobe with the dunk competition. He won the dunk competition and then they binned it for a year or two. And then the next one that came back was the one that Vince Carter won. So Kobe had it for like 2 or 3 years as champion.
I got a better example. It's not basketball, but Portsmouth Football Club. Portsmouth. Wash your mouth out. Those filthy words. You know what? I would like to say congratulations to all the channels because I didn't see on the Olympics whatsoever any badminton.
Were you pleased with that?
Yeah, I was like, brilliant. I'm hoping it's not in the sport. It's not in the Olympics, sorry.
Would you have stayed long enough to search for what you, because one thing I found of it is that you had to search for the sport that you wanted to watch, because although you could know the times and when things were sort of playing, you had to be very specific about it's then, I've got to go find it. And there was always a sport or something live going on in the background in the menus.
I was watching the American channels.
Wow.
That's how I watched the Olympics, because with the BBC, it was good coverage and I really liked the commentating and stuff like that. However, it was very based on sports that there was British representation in. So it was very cycling.
We'll cover the bits we're in.
Yeah. And, you know, like, for example, you've got
America
taking on Serbia, America taking on France, Germany, all these huge basketball games.
Nothing.
And it's like, wasn't anywhere near the BBC, but on the American channels, yeah, it was all over it.
Listen, I didn't get to watch that dude, the old Turkish shooter, with his hand in his pocket. Did he?
Legend.
Bang.
Legend.
And I think his missus is a female shooter and does this. That's theirs, both of them.
We said this last time, didn't we?
Yeah, and do the same style. But
yeah, she won. I think she won silver.
She won the
as
silver
well.
and he won silver. But like the thing is, I didn't get to see any of those bits because it's like, oh, you see it as a highlight and go, I missed that. That was the only, because it's 15 days, it's a lot going on. And you go, if you want to watch this, you're going to miss that. So I so stupidly purposely missed some of the events because I'm going to watch them over the next few weeks and just go back and just watch them in retrospect.
Well,
so we know who's won now, but it's still, they're brilliant events.
Going on from the Australian breakdancing, this is the point I was going to make. I read this article and it just made me laugh so much because it is so true. 1 in 4 Britons reckon they could qualify for the 2028 Olympics if they started training today. You know what? I was watching, I was watching so many events and I was sat there going, come on, just make up those 10 seconds. You can get the silver if you do that. Whilst I was sat eating pizza, having a Coke and having chocolate bars.
So,
and then those people going, yeah, I could do that if I wanted to.
Dr. Dre's already said he wants to do archery in the LA Games.
I think archery is one of the ones. Well, here I can break it down. The next Olympic Games held in LA in 2028.
Did you see the event? Did you see that?
What,
the handover thing?
Yeah, the handover.
That was
really
cool.
Good.
Chili's Billie Eilish, then getting Snoop and Dre out.
Well, here you go. So they reckon the highest ranked event that people think they could win if they started training today is air rifle shooting. Just below that, archery. Just below that, badminton. That's a laugh.
Wow.
Table tennis. Rowing, 5th.
Table tennis? People reckon they could do that?
Well, like even badminton. Look, I know I diss badminton a lot, but those guys, you can.
Anyone who's at that level, it's just different class.
And then which make 6th is the 100-meter sprint.
No.
But yeah, so
unless it's something like
that made me laugh.
You're running away from a tiger. If they put a tiger in a pen, and they're like, it's a hungry tiger, we're gonna open it up, or it's Jurassic Park, and you hear that, that'd be brilliant. You could do a 100-meter sprint with a raptor behind you. Done. I mean, you're hitting. You know, Usain Bolt's got nothing on you.
How I would phrase this. I'm not sure what the medal tally was in the end. I think we had like 14, 15 or 16 gold medals, something like that.
Oh, we did all right. Oh, I've got the tally here somewhere.
But let me say it like this. Well, you find out the tally. Let me say it like this. There are 66 million adults in the UK?
Yep.
There are 14 gold medals in the UK.
Ah, okay. Do you know
now,
what?
When I say it like that,
yep.
When you look at people, 25% of the country going, yeah, I could get in. It's like you're talking absolute specialists,
and you're talking gold medals as well. What I really thought was good was that the UK got 22 silver and 29 bronze, so we got 65 medals in total, which was
what was the golds?
14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah, so 14.
Well, I got a little quiz for you, Mark.
Yes.
Everywhere in the UK.
Yes.
Where was the highest representation of medals? So what part of the UK did all the medals come from?
Oh, I really want to say it was something like Yorkshire or something crazy like that.
Top one. Come on. I'll give you a clue. Overpopulated.
Well, either London.
Correct.
Really?
London. 32 medals went to London. I'll break it down into regions. So Southeast was 21. So we were second.
Oh, that's not bad.
West Midlands was third. Yorkshire was fourth.
Yeah.
Northwest. Southwest. So a lot of representation from the south.
I think what was the reason I went with that is I think I was reading something about the cycling team, because on her first appearance, first Olympics, she managed to get a gold and I think 2 bronzes, I believe. But that was like her very first ever. She's 21 at the Olympics, and you go, we were very, very good in cycling for years and years and years. And the people who were there, I want to say, have hung up their coats now. So this is like the next wave of people coming through. And they did them proud. They did them solid. One guy fell off his bike, like big time, big old crash. Totally forgot the name. But, he got headbutted by the other cyclist. It was like a proper, I'll say a proper basketball moment. The other guy sort of leant in and just gave him a little, whoop, there you are. But apparently he can't.
Skateboarding was good, wasn't it? I like that. I actually was really impressed.
Who was
with
the girl, the young girl who from
the
China?
UK?
No, from China. The guy from the UK was 51, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Tony Hawk's up there like, yes, old guy, brilliant.
Yeah.
He's ripping up.
This is one of my. I think.
Do you know one of the sport you said last time? What the sports that are coming in this next round? One of the ones that actually confused me: squash. I don't know why I thought it was in the Olympics.
But squash is that is like a high tempo. You got to be fit to play squash.
Yeah, but I always just assumed it was in.
But that makes sense. You said squash or breakdancing. Pick one. I'd say squash every time.
Yeah, but that was not in the Olympics. It must have fallen out at some point.
Well, I think one of the, I don't want to say great moments, but it's one of the most. It's a great moment of the Olympics to watch as a fan. So it was the high jump. I really like the high jump. We've gone way off basketball here, but the high jump 4 years ago in Tokyo, there was a guy from Qatar, I don't know his name, and there's a guy from Italy, and they both did the same jump, and one of them was going to get the gold, and then they went to the higher bracket, and they both didn't do the jump. So
Didn't they split it?
Yeah, the guys go to them and say, right, what height do you want to do? Because I think what they do, if they both miss it, they then go back down, and they keep going back down until one gets it. And that's where you get that classic Olympic moment where they decide to share the gold, and the Italian jumps on the guy from Qatar, and then they both go and celebrate the gold. The only thing I don't know what happens is, does someone get silver or bronze?
I don't know how it works.
I would imagine someone wouldn't get the silver and the next person just gets the bronze. I'd like to think the next person gets silver and the next and they give the bronze out as well.
I think it'd be a case of you both
I bet they take the silver out.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
Because they're not saying two people can't do it. Anyway, exact same thing happened in this Olympics. It was a guy, I've got it here. It was a guy, USA, Shelby McEwen.
Yep.
And a guy from New Zealand. Exact same thing happened, and the New Zealand guy walked over to the American, and you could clearly see he was like, we've been doing this for 2 hours, I'm exhausted, do you want to share? And what was I thought quite surprising, the American turned around and went, no, I'm jumping. You literally could hear him say, no, I'm jumping. What happened, the American, then they were both missing jumps because they were so tired that it started coming down. The American missed a jump. The New Zealand guy got it. Guy got the gold. The American guy got silver. But at one point, he had the opportunity to accept the gold. I thought that was a really good moment.
I like that. I want to win it. I don't want to be given it or not earn it.
It does feel like an American attitude. I want to be the man. Yeah. I don't mean to say it like that, but that's how it came across.
There's actually a thing that it says here when people ask why his decision to refuse sharing the medal, he simply replied, "One champion." I kind of can see his point on that. There's only one winner. And just having that mindset, you're all working to that one thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're making the gold worthless in a way, devaluing it. So I get it.
Well, look, before we go any further, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Let's give a shout out to Paris for their efforts in the Olympics.
Yeah, good job.
Right, let's crack on with the basketball. It took us 15 minutes just to get to this point. Right, I've got some notes.
Oh, no.
I wasn't a huge fan of the pink outline around the court.
Okay.
I took a picture just in case so you can
that
remember.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it going, well, what was the point in that? And then I wondered if there's something underneath it, like they peel it up and it's got like a volleyball court.
Tape or something. Yeah, it could be the court that's gone down.
But there was a few times I noticed that a player went to inbound the ball and they stepped back beyond the pink line just to make sure. And it was just one of those things where you noticed it, where the players were noticing it. Like,
what did you actually think of the court themselves?
I quite liked it. I quite liked
all those sort of logo bits like on there.
I quite like that.
I think that's great. I think that's a really.
I thought the wood looked really nice.
But I haven't seen one that I can recall where it's had that sort of logos all in between the sort of that area. But then obviously the key's obviously a solid block still. But I liked it. I've never. I wonder if someone would do that. If you had an all-star game, you could have every single team represented on that, and it would just look clean and simple.
Yeah, I know. I quite liked it. And you know what? I would say a huge shout out, maybe even a huge thank you to the guys who organised the basketball, because I thought the entertainment side of it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Why?
No, like all the music and stuff. It was like a proper, entertaining spectacle is what I'd say.
See, I can't
say you don't see that on British TV, but when you're watching the American channels, they're letting all the music go. But it was very
I was just about
French.
to say, I think you probably saw some different things to what I did.
Victoire! Come on, Victoire! And all that. And then
the
crowd would go in and stuff like that. And it was, I thought it was brilliant.
It was a lot more edited, the version that I got to watch. A lot more edited, I'd say.
Well, especially when you got to the later rounds, especially the French games. So, right, let's crack into it,
You just want to watch a game, don't you? I mean, look, I get it. You have adverts. I get it. You're going to want to be sponsored and blah, blah, blah. But just let a game run. Like, have the adverts, like the old classic ones that went on, just showing our age here, but when they used to do it sort of in the 90s, if they televised a game from the States, they wouldn't have any chance to edit it. So what they would do is, do you remember, they would have all the adverts still playing at the bottom, but they would all blur them out. So you couldn't actually see what the advert was. You just see the score, and then the score would be disappeared. Then all of a sudden, when the advert stopped playing, you'd see them back again, but the game would still be going because the game is being televised often by the local teams. So say it was Orlando Magic versus Atlanta. It would either be in Atlanta, it would be some businesses around Atlanta that are supporting the Hawks, or it would be businesses around Orlando supporting the Magic. And you'd see like Don's trucks coming up for advert. You want to buy a Chevy 2020 Tahoe, go into this and blah, 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 or whatever. That's what used to happen. But they blur it out because obviously internationally we're not allowed to see it. But they couldn't edit the thing because it was live. They didn't have a feed for it. Whereas now it's almost like they all have a separate feed. And you watched it obviously through the States, but yeah, I wasn't massively happy with how I saw the games.
Well, the other thing I would shout with NBC in particular, is where I watched the games. I thought the commentating by Noah Eagle and Dwayne Wade was absolute spot on. Absolute spot on.
What was Dwayne like?
He was like doing all the colourful commentating.
Yeah.
And he didn't speak as much as Noah Eagle, but like, look, Noah Eagle was an absolute professional, just calling the game. And then Dwayne Wade will be, chipping in with I've seen him do that in training a million times and all that. But I wanted to say it because it was for me, it was so important for the Olympics, that and everything. And it was just like, I remember the games finishing going, wow, you know what? It's a shame I'm not going to listen to these guys commentate. It was great listening to them. Some of the best commentating I've heard was that Noah Eagle.
Wow. That's high praise indeed.
So, right, let's crack on. Bloody hell, we're 20 minutes. We haven't even started yet. Jeez. Right, quarterfinals. That's where we got to, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So the first quarterfinal was Germany taking on Greece. Germany won that game 76-63.
Yep.
I think I called that one. What did you say Germany as well?
No, I went for the Greek Freak. I genuinely thought they wouldn't be containing Giannis, but I'm not saying he's lost his boil, but there's something missing from Giannis's game. I don't know. He can't do it all on his own. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, the world champions went to the semi-finals, and then Serbia took on Australia.
Yep.
In arguably one of the best games of
brilliant.
The Olympics.
That was brilliant.
For me, that was like top 5 games of the Olympics, easily.
Yeah,
maybe top 4.
Really good game.
I'd put it.
Probably number 3.
It'd be 3, 4, 5. One
Probably
of them.
Number 3.
I'd have to put more thought into it, but yeah, 3, 4, 5. Serbia coming back from I think they were down by like over 20 points.
Yeah.
At one stage, I think it's one of the biggest comebacks of all time. And we said
23 points they came back from on that.
Oh, it's 23. All right.
Yeah.
I knew it was 20 something. And we said this in the preliminary rounds. USA blew them out by like 22 points or something like that. And we were like, they haven't woken up.
No.
You could see they just like played crap, and it was like, look, if they meet again, that's going to be different. You could see it. Like they were all asleep. Anyway, so moving on to France, Canada.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a shock or not.
It was for me. I 100% called Canada because I just didn't think. Well, it was 2 points. One, in the original round when they were going through from the preliminaries, Fournier was quite vocal about the French coach. And Fournier on the French team was just sort of really like, we've got to play better than this. This is not how we should do it. And very, very vocal. And the coach was like, he's not expressing the opinions of the team. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. They're not kind of firing. And then you look on the other side, Canada have got 10 NBA players on their team. All right, this could be really interesting. So
France have still got 6, 7 NBA players? Or no, 8. I think it's 8 NBA players.
I believe so, yeah. I was just surprised. I didn't think they would be... I didn't think there was as cohesive.
I thought it was going to be closer than that.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be the first half which really won it for the French.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how much home court advantage went to that, because the crowd were, wired. The crowd were wired and so loud.
Yeah.
They didn't have it as much against the Americans because you got people supporting America there.
Yep.
And the NBA stardom and all that. But the Canadians, it didn't feel like you had that anywhere near as much. So I don't know if that played into it, but every time Canada seemed to come back, bam, 3 would go in.
Yeah.
Fournier played brilliant. But yeah, so anyway. And then United States absolutely demolished Brazil.
Yeah.
In the last of the quarterfinals.
Do you know what? I didn't even watch that game.
You're a disgrace. You got you got the highest ranked UK basketball podcast, Mark, and you didn't watch
USA versus Brazil. It's like, no, you're
You
right.
told me Brazil were absolutely amazing.
I said they're good. They're a strong team, but they're not USA.
You're a disgrace.
I don't know. Is there one Brazilian player in the NBA, I think?
Email ukbasketballpodcast@gmail.com and tell me if you want me to punch Mark in the balls for not watching that game, and I shall do it.
The Spaldings, the Nikes.
Right. Semi-finals.
Yes.
United States versus Serbia. France versus Germany. These two semi-finals, easily top 5 best games.
They're the best two games.
My only thing is that Serbian-Australia game would be in there as well.
Oh,
It'd be that, these two,
it'd be these
and
two,
the final.
It'd be these two first. I mean, look, USA versus Serbia, that's number one for me. If you're not I want to say basketball fan, but you don't really support a team or anything like that. You just want to say, oh, what's the game about? What's that?
Yeah.
It's like everyone is hustling. It means everything to every player.
Serbia turned up.
Serbia was
turned
so
up the play, and
they rocked. They were up by I think it was 11 at one point, and it almost got to 13.
No, I think they
15.
were up by 15 at one point.
Yeah, they got
or 16. Can I make a point?
Yes.
Since doing this podcast,
yes,
I've become more, what's the word, neutral when I'm watching games. Like, I'll be really, like, before I would have been like a USA fanboy and I've gone, yeah, they got LeBron, oh yeah, it's amazing, brilliant, yes, and I'd have been like that. Since doing this podcast, I'm more neutral down the middle and gone,
okay, I agree with you.
and I'm being a bit more critical. And what I would say is, personally, I think America got lucky in that game, down by 15, and if it wasn't for Steph Curry getting 34 points, LeBron heated up in the fourth, Joel Embiid, he heated up in the fourth, and then Durant heated up in the fourth. If any of those four things don't happen, Serbia are through.
What was it? It was,
and they were shooting, and you were going.
I mean, I could look it up.
I was thinking this is for the game here.
I can look it up now, but I think it was like 31 points they got in the final quarter. The USA did, whereas Serbia got something like 12 or 13. Like they literally doubled and then some their points. That was where they won it. The rest of the game, it was all Serbia. And
I'm not being harsh. Look, Steph Curry was amazing in the semi-final and the final, but until that point, it was pretty poor, really.
Average.
I think it was like 14 points he scored in the first 4 games of the World Cup. The Olympics. And then in the last 2 games, the semi-final and the final, he scored 60 points. But I can't help say, I think America got lucky against Serbia. All those things just happened to all go for them. And I think like a lot of people from Europe watching this game, it's like, wow, America are about to go out. They only took the lead like in the last minute and a half.
Yeah, it was like minute 9, I think it was. But the worst bit, I think, was that people afterwards were like, so it was all the refs. And I love the fact that Serbians, I think one of the main players, but before that it was actually the coach. He's like, no, don't get on the refs. They've done a good job. We lost the game. Like, I don't want our loss to be because of the refs. We move on from that, and you go, we've still got another game to play.
I agree, but I know the point people are making.
Yeah,
and it is so irritating, and I wasn't even sure whether to even bring this up, but
do it at the end, the last hurrah.
You know what winds me up with referees is when they ref these games. And they've been reffing like European fiction, stuff like that. All of a sudden, they've got LeBron there going, come on, that's a foul. Foul. Yes, there we go. And it's almost like the stardom of these players is, even if it's minute, it's influencing them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was that game. Sorry, I watched so many games in the Olympics. I'm getting it all mixed up. But I think it was that game where... And I think you saw it in the first half of the French when they played France as well, where there were these nothing calls they were calling in the first half. And then you compare that to the second half, where it's really aggressive. You think, hey, what's going on?
They let it run. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you something now.
Might get the foul count out.
No, Mark, that is exactly what I was about to say. Referees will not talk about this, and I'm telling you, as a former referee, I've heard referees talk about this. Okay, there's an unwritten rule for referees that you don't criticize another referee. in the open.
No.
So that's an unwritten rule. You're not supposed to do it. I'm not criticising any individual ref. I'm just saying this is what they do.
All of them in one go.
I'm just saying this is what they do. So
extremely popular.
A referee will be aware of the foul count for each team. Yeah?
Okay.
So as an example, I was coaching a game once and I looked at the scoreboard and went, hang on, this is really lopsided. And there was 16 fouls called on my team and 1 foul called on their team. So I announced it to the court fairly aggressively, passionately maybe, is how I should phrase it. Got a technical foul, yeah? All of a sudden, we were getting calls. Because the refs were like, hang on, we called 16 fouls against 1. That does look biased. Up to the highest level, referees are doing that. Now, if you go to the France America game, watch the first quarter and watch what happens.
Yeah.
I think it was 4-0 or 5-0. And I was sitting there going, man, this is bollocks. Because it's what they're doing at the start of the game affects that final score.
Of course it does.
So when you're talking about, it's a 1-point game or 2-point game, and you think, well, hang on, you let an 8-point deficit go because of crappy calls at the start. For me, that irritates me, even if it's in the first quarter. But what they do is they'll be like, okay, so I think it was 4 or 5-0. Yeah.
I think that's, like you said.
Then at a certain point, they are make themselves aware of it. And then you watch, they call little crappy fouls around the halfway line to get the foul count to be equal.
Well, it predetermines it, doesn't it?
You look at you look at the final, half time, 7 fouls on both teams. Exactly. You look at the final score, after the final result, 16-16 fouls. Exactly. Look, I'm telling you, referees do this. I've heard the conversations. You look and going, what? Or you'll see a referee, National League, you'll see a referee go up to the scorebook and they'll look down and go, okay. And then you watch, they call little crappy fouls around the halfway line. Referees do this. And that is what people are picking up on in that Serbia game against America. And it pisses me off. Sorry to swear, Mark. Snowflake warning for what I just said. So that is a warning to rewind and then not listen to it.
I mean, it's quite good hearing you rant for a change. It's normally me, isn't it, having a moan?
But it irritates me. That's what irritates me.
So look, let's just go to it. Final.
No, you haven't even done France, Germany.
You announced that France are in it already.
France, Germany. Semi-final. Sorry, United States won by 4 points against Serbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, watching those final shots go in for the USA, it was a spectacular ending to the game. Watching that, and you go, everyone was pumped. The whistle went, and you go, they earned that win, and
they did. But all I'll say is the but is they got lucky.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think if you played the same game than the week after, would it be the same result? No, it'd be a different result. Yeah. I think the teams were very evenly matched and way more evenly matched than the USA want to think. They'll just do the whole win as a win, but you go, you guys were pipped at the post. There was an element of Serbia came out the gate and maybe lost a bit of steam, and then Team USA found their form finally. If they just take another probably minute, maybe a play or two, and that's what you're saying. Some of those early fouls and those things that maybe would have cost them later on in the game paid that penance. But
can I just say before we go on to that next game is I'm going to butcher his name now. Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic.
Number 7.
Yeah, Bogdanovic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
I think he plays for Atlanta. I think he's playing for the Hawks.
Oh, I know.
I'm fairly confident he plays for the Hawks. But also, what number was he wearing? Avramovic as well. He played brilliantly. I thought the two guards were absolute quality for Serbia. Obviously, Jokic showing his quality down low. But the guards for me, Is it Atlanta? I can see it there.
Yeah, it is. For some reason, I had a feeling. I think they were in talks with him potentially being traded, but I don't know if they actually got. Yeah, I think someone was trying to get hold of him in a 3-way trade, but obviously, before the season
I wouldn't
starts.
be surprised. After that game, they're looking like, man, he's competing.
No, he's a great player.
And look, America are like a minute from not getting into the final at one point. So, yeah, it shows their quality.
Do you know the thing that I really like seeing?
Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks, yeah, he plays for.
So, when you see Bogdanovic, he's playing really well. But what people haven't seen in the NBA too much of is the Joker getting fired up. And he was fired for that game. He was absolutely like, give me the damn ball, and really showing passion. And Jokic isn't known for being particularly, he's quite stoic, isn't he? Like if he gives an interview, it's like, yeah, that's great. He's very, very placid.
Yes, I like that.
He doesn't really do much on the court too much. But there he was really like, he had the face like, I want to win this. And he was really like, I want to throw it down you.
You see how much, especially
means the country.
Yeah, the Europeans playing for the country. Are like, they want that medal.
Yeah. But playing for their country, like people.
I don't know if it means as much to the Americans.
I don't think it does.
I think they want it, but at the end, I didn't see spoiler alert, when they won it, I didn't see, yes, I've won a gold medal. I saw relief. Oh, thank God I've done it. Yeah. I don't have that pressure that we were the one that lost the game. That's what I saw.
Yeah. So
especially in Steph Curry's interview in particular, it just looked like the weight's off.
You messaged me like, look at Steph, like when it was Q3 or whatever, and he's like head down, he's done. You said like, that's it, he's over, because he was looking like this is not happening, and that was Q3 of that game.
But in the interview afterwards, it just looked like pure relief.
Oh yeah,
we've done it.
Bullet dodged.
Oh, but what I would say is the France-Germany game, semi-final, France 73, Germany 69. Personally, one of my favourite games. Absolutely amazing game.
I thought it was scrappy, but for the right reasons, scrappy, if that makes sense.
Germany just couldn't get back.
It's not a high-scoring game if you look at it, and that should tell anyone who didn't see the game that people were playing deep. I mean, look, we haven't even mentioned his name yet, but you've got Wemby on the French team, arguably one of the best defenders there is. And who's next to him? Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. And then
Gobert had a great Olympics as well.
Gobert had a great week. Evan Fournier, who's been so hot and cold when he's played on his teams, playing in the Magic, playing elsewhere. But Fournier has been absolutely amazing. But the one that you liked was that guy, wasn't it?
No, the big man, number 7.
Oh, was it? Gershon?
Yeah, the big man. He's the one who dunked on LeBron.
I thought you meant Cordinier.
No.
Oh, you mean
Mark, he came in the key went boom. LeBron went down easy. He went down easy trying to get the charge. He was getting all these pity calls, so he's like the rest.
A lot of people are saying he didn't post to LeBron. It's like,
yeah, he did. LeBron just went down early.
Well, people have forgotten what's the word poster mean? It means if someone took a photo of that dunk and you're in that picture, you're making the poster, mate, because they'll make it a poster. That's it. You're done. Whoever's in that snap, they're getting their face ripped off. He got it.
You know what?
But he was a great matchup in the, now we're talking the final here. He was a great matchup in terms of a big man.
And look, Real Madrid going to get a few phone calls from some NBA teams.
Yeah, Spanish Liga ACB. He's one of the boys. He was a unit, though, wasn't he?
How old is he?
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look-see.
If he's early 20s, he's
28.
going to NBA.
28?
Maybe.
I don't know. Even if you pick him up for like 2 or 3 years, if he's playing, I mean, the thing is now,
look, he freaking dunked.
He's playing for Real Madrid
on LeBron, and he was one of the main key pieces of that French team.
It sounds silly, but
he was one of the best players in the game.
Well, they've got him at 2.04 meters, which is about 6'8", something like that. But he reminded me like of a Ben Wallace from the Detroit Pistons era, where it's just like he's just a big unit. It sounds really stupid, but sometimes you just need a big, strong, big man.
Yeah,
just to keep them out of the way.
I thought he didn't back off from anyone. And this is what we were saying before, with where some of these players are like they're playing in the Euro Cup final, and then for our American listeners, they don't realise the Euro League is huge
and physical.
Is huge. It's like the quality of, like, look, you got that guy. You've got, if they're not in the NBA, they're there. And I think, your Luka.
Yeah.
He came from the same team. He came from Real Madrid and went and played for Dallas. So that kind of gives you an indication of these players. He was one of my favourite players in the final.
I think also, as well as, you saying that, all of these players, everyone looks at it and says, oh, they play in the NBA. They've got this amount of NBA players. You go, how many EuroLeague players are on that team? Oh, there's 7 of them. You go, and 2 NBA. All right, so the 2 NBA can go, this is how they run their plays. That's it. The rest of them, they're all professional basketball players. All of them are a really strong tier. They're all physical. It's not like you've got a bunch of plumbers out there running around. It's not like, oh, they're the only 2 professional basketball players and they've got 7 randoms. No, they're all high caliber quality players. Yeah. And I think, like you just said, every one of the players from all the teams in this Olympics, they're going to get some calls to go to different leagues, to go to Australia's NBL. I wouldn't surprise me if people will be poaching. Maybe some people will be poaching in the new Super League for the UK, because some of the performances of these players. It
was a worldwide showcase.
Yeah, because that's what it was. We're talking France, Germany, Serbia. We've already talked about Australia, Brazil. All of these places you go, and America as well. It's like,
but you're going to
have not just America anymore, and they can't keep thinking that's where just the talent comes from. Where's Wemby from again? Oh yeah.
Well, look, just on Wemby, France beat Germany by 4 points. It was a great game. It was a great game with the world champions, with the current world champions going out losing by 4. I was going to say something, but I can't remember it.
He said a little message afterwards, Wemby, where someone's like, oh, are you happy with your minutes and all that sort of stuff and that. And he just said, it's my first Olympics, my first year as a professional baller. Imagine where I'll be in 4 years. And you're like, damn. Yeah. What a great attitude. Like, immediately he just batted that back and went, I'm already playing for my national team and I'm pretty good. He didn't have a great Olympics.
You don't get any of this BS where it's like, no. Court time.
No.
As long as you got there was some of it with the 12 in USA, like who's getting on. But I think that was more stirred up by the media. I mean, as a player, you're going to be disappointed, but that was more stirred up by the media. But that's because you've got 12 world-class players trying to get into a squad, whereas maybe, for example, the French squad, you'll have 2 players. It'll be like, if someone gets injured, that's where you're coming on. They know their role.
Let's look at that. We're going straight into that then. Look at the final.
Can I just make one point?
Do it.
I don't know if it was the France or Germany game or the France-Canada game, but it was one of those games. The exact same thing that I was saying about refereeing happened in that in one of those games. I want to say it was the Germany game, but again, I'm questioning myself now because of all the basketball. And it was shocking that there was a ball moving and you could see it traveling. It came off, a German player, and you could see that the momentum of the ball had changed. So the ball was spinning this way. I can see it on TV. It's going this way. It touches German player's hand. Then the rotation moves. Or the ball's clearly moved. I'm 500 miles away and I can see it. But the referees, they go back. They have to actually go back behind the benches and look on the TV in there. That was quite funny.
Yeah, I liked that. I like the fact they do look at it, but they make the best calls from it.
But when they do that, you see the angle that they were seeing. And the angle that they showed, you look at it and go, okay, it's not conclusive. If it's not conclusive, you've got to go with the original call, yeah? However, just look at it in real time and you can see the ball change. The motion of the ball changes. Even the commentators were turning around saying that's France's ball. Yeah. But they went, no, Germany's ball.
If you can see the script on the ball.
And when I was looking at that game, I was getting infuriated because, yes, I wanted France to win, but I was like, if Germany now hit a 3 and it makes it a 1-point game or something like that, and then they take the lead, it's that call that has decided potentially the game. It drives me nuts. With the Olympics, I got really frustrated with the referees. The best referee is one that you don't notice is there. That's what I'd say. Right, I'm going to start going on referees now.
I'd say with Germany, they've got a good future because they've got, obviously everyone's talking about Schroeder, but actually you've got Franz and Mo Wagner. And I know if you have Franz, you have to pay the Mo tax, but some people say that anyway. But they could have had a slightly better performance than I think they would have done. They would probably play better during the season this year for Orlando. But on saying that, maybe that's the reason why they maybe had a little bit less steam in them. They played well, but certainly Franz did a lot of work for Orlando this year. Well, and Mo as well.
They went out by 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing, is it?
They went out by 4 points. I did think about you. You'd be going nuts at some of the free throws that were missed.
I'm not even starting on it. You've had your moan today. I'm not doing a moan. I
think we need to get you to a court to shoot some free throws.
What? Why do you want me to see my 100% record?
Yeah, let's see it, because you then can't criticise anyone. Right, what are we doing? Serbia, Germany in the bronze game was first, right?
Yeah.
Was it first? Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was first because they had.
I think that. Well, all I'm going to say is right team won, and I didn't think it's going to sound really stupid, but if you're playing for a bronze medal, or nothing, I think there's a different mentality, and you could see that on the court. When you're playing in the final, yes, you want the gold, but at the same time, you're still getting a silver medal. I mean, you're there. You're the top 1 or 2. So that's it. Whereas this is between you get a medal or no one remembers number 4. It's like I'm the bronze medalist.
Yeah.
And that's it. Gold, silver, bronze. Done. That's all the Olympics ever is. Oh, where did you come? I came 4th in the 100 meters. No one cares. Like literally, and I'm horrible saying that, but it is. All the athletes know it. It's just the truth. No one knows 4th place because you just don't remember it in the history books.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And so that game felt like it. And
the guards. For me, the guards, I really like those two guys. I'm butchering his name. Bogdanovic and Avramovic. Those two guys I thought were quality, obviously with Jokic as well. Jokic, he got his bronze medal. 2 days later, he's watching the horses.
He's genius.
He's like, I'm out of here. I'm doing what I love. He loves his horses, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, 10-point win for Serbia, 93-83. The world champions don't get a medal.
What I quite liked is, I don't know where I heard it, but someone did a commentary on Jokic, and they actually got it mixed up with Jovic, who is... one letter different, but apparently that was too much for them to get confused
Number 5.
with. Yeah. But they were just like, oh, it's a Serbian guy and it's J-O and it ends with a C, so that's Jokic. And he was like, no, that's Jovic. But you just think, you can get that wrong. You're supposed to be commentating, but there we go. Look.
Final.
I know, I'm going to say one thing on these guys. Have you seen the clip of them on the bus when they won their bronze medal?
No.
Okay, I'll pull it up for you and I'll show it to you in a sec. It's brilliant.
Chuck it on the socials and I'll see it.
Yeah, I will. And it's so good. And you look at it and they are absolutely just having a laugh and they're really going for it. And there's one half of the bus, the back half, where all the players are there and they're like, yeah! And they're all getting really like jokers, like laughing at everyone is. And then they spin the camera to the front and then you can tell it's all like the coaches and the staff and stuff and the main coach is front and they're all like,
poor sods.
Waiting.
Don't get a medal at all. I felt really sorry. Like Steve Kerr doesn't get an Olympic medal. The head coach, I'd say that. I think the head coach should.
No.
Head coach should.
No, I don't agree.
I think the head coach. I would give it to the head coach. And the thing is, the Americans had like 3 assistant coach, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if you can give it to the.
3? I think the head coach should get one.
I think if you step on the court or you step on the pitch, they're the people who get the medals. Otherwise, they don't.
There's a debate for that one.
No, coaches don't get it.
For that one.
Because then if you're going to do that, all the sprinters have their own coaches, all the hurdlers have, all the javelin players, they all have coaches, so do the decathletes.
But the coach a basketball coach is part of the game. He can actually decide the game. He can affect the game psychologically, physically, geographically, ergonomically.
But then you could say that
systematically,
the referees should get a medal then, surely, as well.
I think they do. They get a little badge, don't they? Because that's where the refs go up and everyone's like, boo.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Right, final. Chuck it on the socials for everyone to see. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'd like to see that.
I'll find it. It's brilliant. It's really, really funny.
So, yeah. USA and France. What a great game. Like I said, I think the French were up by 16 at one point. And I think like most people in the world, I was sat there going,
amazing.
Oh my God, I need to go get a pizza because America are going out. This is a great game. What's going on? Look, I didn't want America to lose, just for the record. I was just being very,
you
hit
this very well.
I'm being very neutral.
Really?
So, yeah, I mean, look, you got to talk about Steph Curry. What an impact he had. And you know what? It's a nice way for him, Durant, LeBron, and those guys to bow out to Olympic basketball.
For me, KD, and I've given him some flack over the years because of maybe his approach to the game, but you can't deny how the guy shoots and how he plays. Like, he's just a problem for everyone. It's just, the ease at which he can score. It's just frightening. And I think he broke the record for like the most games or most points or whatever. And you think,
I think it's like 4 Olympic golds.
Yeah, no, it's just done so well.
I'll find it. I've got it on here. I'll find it.
He for me was the player from Team USA that I thought they couldn't have done without him. Yeah, no question, Steph made the difference in the survey game. And this game as well, he added it in there. But do
you know what one of my favourite moments of the final was? I don't know. It probably passed lots of people's attention. When I say this, you'll know where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. You were talking about in the NBA playoffs how much Anthony Edwards really loves Durant. It's his idol. So there was one moment in the second half. It was the third or fourth quarter where Durant gets the ball on a fast break, throws it up, and I think Edwards passes in the ball. Durant drives, throws the ball up. Anthony Edwards catches it in the air, boom, dunks it. And I just thought, what a great moment.
Torch, past it.
Like your idol, the guy you've been looking up to, who you defeated and chucked out of the NBA playoffs. Yeah. You're now playing with on USA, and he's just set you up for an alley-oop, and you're about to win the gold medal with him. For me, that was like a great moment. Just that, for me, embodied basketball spirit, Olympic spirit. It's just a great moment, I thought.
Oh, that was brilliant. Look, I'm going to be honest. This game and the previous game, I think LeBron had too many minutes. That's just my opinion.
I agree. It was like the LeBron show. It's like, man, you can sub him. Yeah. He's not just because he carried the flag in. I'm not being a LeBron hater, but it was like...
I just don't understand. And look, this is not saying, oh, why is Embiid not getting minutes and why is Tatum not getting minutes and stuff. That's Kerr's decision to make. Genuinely, I am confused why LeBron had so many minutes. If it's just to show everyone, hey, I can still do this. And it's going to be his last ever Olympics, because look, Tatum will come back the next time. Fine. But it just seemed really odd, the amount of minutes he had. Given how he was during the season, they'd rest him when they could and stuff, and you could see how he'd get tired and stuff. He was fired for it. I'll give LeBron credit. And there's no question he led the team and everyone listens to him. He says what goes on. But, you know, going back to what you said about, the coach adds something to it. How much did Steve Kerr really throw in the game there? I think LeBron went...
Leadership.
No, he didn't. I think LeBron was like...
Substitutions.
No, that was LeBron's.
You know what? There was a really interesting moment where this was in the final where they put a camera right in the huddle.
Yeah.
And Steve Kerr was talking. He had his, you know what I mean, his court board in front of him. Silence. And I thought that was really telling. I mean, look, you're talking about someone who has got 3 NBA championships with Jordan. He's then got
4.
1 with San Antonio.
Yep.
Was it 2 with San Antonio? 1 or 2?
Steve Kerr, I thought he had 1 and he's got 4.
He got 4 in a row. It was the year after the Jordan left, he went to San Antonio and then they won it. So he's got 4 in a row. I don't know if he's got the fifth one with San Antonio or not. But anyway, as a coach, he's then got 4.
Yep.
No, I'm fairly confident. Yeah, he's got another one somewhere. I'm sure he's got not. I'm sure he's got 9. Or maybe I'm getting him mixed up with someone. But he's then got 4 NBA championships as a head coach. Yes, he had Steph Curry, but he had Steph Curry before Steph Curry was great. So he's got to take credit, a little, even if it's a tiny bit, for Steph Curry becoming that player. Yes, he had Durant turn up for, is it 2 of those championships?
5-time NBA champion.
2 with San Antonio. They weren't in a row, though.
1 with San Antonio.
Oh, who's the 5th then?
96, 97. Oh, hang on. It might be 2. It was... So he got... it was with the Bulls.
Yeah, 3 with the Bulls. 96, 97, 98.
Yep.
97 with Spurs.
And then he got 99 with the Spurs.
So another 2 with the Spurs. So he won... What?
No. Oh, yes.
So he won 5 championships.
Then he went
6
away
seasons.
to Portland and then he came back to San Antonio and happened to win another one there.
So, but look, in 6 seasons, he got 5 championships.
5 championships. As a coach, 4 NBA champions, NBA Coach of the Year, All-Star Game and blah, 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 top 15 in history. But the best one of all, he has also won the NBA three-point competition.
But look, what I'm saying is in 6 seasons, he won 5 championships. In 6 seasons, he won 4 NBA championships as a player.
Yeah.
So it was really telling. Because I was thinking, I wonder who's in charge of that team. But when that camera went in, it is the final. The gold is on the line. All the players were shutting up.
Yeah.
And I was like, nice. And Steve Kerr was there, and he was drawing whatever play he was. You couldn't really hear what he's saying, but they all just staring at it going, got it. Yep. Yes, coach. And I was like, that is great to see because they're giving him the respect. Probably that the rest of the media aren't and going, the players are just doing it. But I think that's a bit of BS because from what I saw, in that moment, it was like, Steph's running the show here. So, and that's what made me think he deserves a medal, poor sod.
Yeah, maybe. But
what a
he's
game.
Done all right.
What a game. With Steph Curry bowing out his Olympics basketball.
Well, Steph bowed out. LeBron's bowed out. Durant's bowed out. I mean, look, you look at the people that they've got going in still there. Bam's there. Tatum's there. I mean... Derek Williams there.
Well, what I would say
is... Anthony Edwards is arguably the most exciting player for the NBA going forward.
Well, he's the future. But, I mean, I've got 2 thoughts about this. I'm going to come back to this point, but America are Olympic champions, and that's how I will phrase it. And you obviously know where I'm going with this. They are Olympic champions. I'm not taking anything away from that. But the world is catching up, is what I would say. Just look at the last 6 years of MVPs in the NBA and where are they from, okay? Look at finals MVPs as well, last 6 years and where they're from. The world is catching up. However, and I know I'm going to be a bit biased here because it's Orlando Magic, but when you say someone like Banchero will be going into the USA men's team.
Yeah.
That's exciting of what might happen. Again, the youth is going to be what's going to be great to see. However, the world, to me, looked like it was catching up.
See, for me, I was confused why you take Derek White over, Derek Williams in Norway. Why you take him over Paolo when they had some dropout, like Kawhi dropping out? Because you go, surely someone like Paolo immediately is a swap out for LeBron, purely because he's 6'9", he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, LeBron's a big dude. Some of the games he got like 15, 16 points. So on points wise, was LeBron effective? No. But look at the hustle he gave him, beating people up and stuff. He's still he'll always be a big unit. It's just, and he is a talented guy. He's a talented scorer. You can't give him any room.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm just going to go to that point now and say USA, they won the Olympics, because I did notice a post went out by USA Basketball saying, are we the world champs now?
No.
You are the Olympic champions. You are the Olympic champions, but Germany are the world champions. That's like England winning the World Cup in football and going, yeah, we're world champions. We're not European champions. You got to go and win the European Cup to become European champions. That's how I'd say it. So I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just rattle through all these stats, because I've got all these stats. Oh, I've got a new one as well. Look, this is groundbreaking for the show, Mark.
What do you mean you've got a new one?
Well, do you know, hey, look, I'm talking to you, NBA executives and associates. We know you listen to the show. We know where you got NBA Cup from. We know where you got it from. Do you know we've been saying NBA Cup for a while? I've got a new one. And I don't know what the name is. I've kind of got an idea. But I'm calling this a golden season.
Why?
A golden season is when you are NBA champion, MVP, finals MVP, and you win the Olympics in the same year. Golden champion. Maybe it's not the best name, but you see where I'm going with it, don't you?
Yeah, I can see that.
Or the golden MVP. Or a golden season. You can see where I'm going with that, can't you?
Yeah.
How many players have achieved this in history?
Imagine Jordan.
Like, for example, this season, no one's done it because Jaylen Brown got finals MVP. However, you've still got 3 Boston Celtics in that team who have won the NBA title.
I'd assume Jordan when he was on the Dream Team.
So yeah, Jordan in 92.
Yeah.
I don't know about 96. What happened in 96? I can't think off the top of my head. That might be one you have to look up. You got MVP.
I thought that was
96.
Atlanta, but I'll have a look. But 96, no, I'd imagine.
96 was Atlanta, yes.
Yeah, the games, but MVP for the year, I'm thinking, not sure now. When was Hakeem? When was Olajuwon?
Chicago won it.
Yes.
Mailman? Charles Barkley? Clyde Drexler? I don't know.
Let's have a look-see. Right.
Anyway, also, LeBron James.
Jesus Lord.
In 2000 and...
This is now you know when your career's good. And he goes, career highlights.
Career highlight. You got to scroll down.
Yeah.
I think it was LeBron James in 2016 or 2012. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you the year. It's 2012 where he won it with Cleveland. He was MVP for the season.
So Jordan was MVP in 96 as well.
Was he finals MVP?
Finals 96. MVP 96.
Did he go to the Olympics in 96?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. He wasn't golden champion.
No. It was only 92. He was also in the 84 Olympics, but he did not win a championship that year. He didn't win a finals MVP, obviously, and he didn't get an MVP or most valuable player.
Because
that was his rookie year.
No, well, it was the Olympics, and then he went into his rookie year.
Yes.
That was when Chicago signed him.
Yeah.
And then he went to training, and they were like, oh, man, you've got a really good player here. Then he went to the Olympics, and the world were like, oh, crap, you've got a really good player, Chicago.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
But can you see the point I'm trying to make? A golden year or a golden MVP or whatever. Anyway, the answer is Jordan and LeBron are the only players in history to do it. Jordan in 92, and I think LeBron in 2012 is what my guess would be with Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, that would probably make sense.
So NBA people, there you go. There's a new one for you to use. Give me a call. I can give you more at any time. But LeBron got Olympic MVP.
Oh, okay.
Averaging 17 points per game. I was just about to say probably the most minutes played as well.
Yeah, that would be him. Do you know, I think my not admiration but respect for LeBron is increasing as every year, every time he's doing something, because you go, it's a 40-year-old dude pounding the board up and down, and he's still holding people who are almost half his age, and he's just holding them like that. He's making them work and making them really like putting them in pressure. You can't argue with that. But I really am hoping, praying that this season in the NBA, this is not going to be a LeBron season. That's all I can say.
What do you mean a LeBron season?
Because of the amount of minutes he was in.
Of course it is.
I know, but it seems like everything they're doing is to try and keep building his legacy, keep making his legacy. It's like, look, LeBron will always have a legacy from here on in because he's a phenomenal player. There is no question out there.
He's a golden MVP.
He is a golden MVP. But I just don't want the whole league to be about him.
Yeah.
That's it, and when I saw that with the Olympics and how much time he was getting and everything, you just think, oh.
Well, look, let's not give him time. I've got some great moments for you, great stats. Drew Holiday has gone from NBA championship straight into a gold medal twice. What a legend.
Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it?
He's done that twice now. One of my favourite tweet moments, or what do you call it? Tweet or X's? No, I'm saying tweet. Sounds better. They should put it back to Twitter.
No one says an X, do they?
No. I'm going to X you. Sounds like you're going to kill him. Tweet.
Well, you're going to DX him.
Let's set a tweet out. Talking about DXing, did you see it was a bit of a funny moment that
Joel Embiid did it, didn't he?
Yeah, that got drawn out. So he was getting his medal. Obviously, there was conjecture about if he was at some point going to play for France. And obviously, the French crowd were booing him. And he was kind of like, it's kind of like lapping up, like, yeah. Okay. Kind of went on a little bit. You thought, oh man, have grace. Win with grace.
No, he doesn't get that.
Sometimes our American friends don't win with grace.
No.
It's like, come on, man, just win with grace. It just went on a little bit too long. And then afterwards, which they didn't televise, but you can find it on social media and YouTube and stuff like that, he was one of the last ones to go out, and he was drawn out, and that's when he was doing like DX signs. It's like, man, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah,
win with grace.
I'm not a fan of his anyway. So,
but anyway, going back to my thing, my favourite tweet of the Olympics
gotta be from Snoop.
Was Tyrese Halliburton. What a bloody legend he is!
I know which one.
Let me show you. He puts this picture up, and it says, "Well, you ain't done nothing on the group project and still get an A." And he's holding his trophy, his gold medal up.
Yeah.
Look, he's embracing that.
Every single photo that you see of him, he's just smiling, and no one can criticize him because they're like, look at Tyrese. He's like the Labrador that's just happy to be there. He's like, I don't care. I'm here. Like, none of you are here. I'm here. You didn't get on the court. I don't care. I'm here.
Yeah.
That's it. He's like, yeah, got a gold medal. How much court time do you get? Not really.
There's for anyone who watches Game of Thrones, there's a quote in there that is so powerful. When I'm coaching kids sometimes and they get there's certain things that they're upset about. There's a quote that I use from Game of Thrones. It's where...
is it appropriate for children?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It basically is... it's where... Hang on. Okay, I'll do a snowflake warning just in case. But this is what... I'm trying to think of his name. Tyrion Lannister, the dwarf, the little guy.
Okay.
He meets Jon Snow and he's like, hello, bastard. What? I'm going to the wall to fight the White Walkers. Yeah. Anyway, so he says something to Jon Snow.
Worst advert ever.
He says, Jon Snow's like, I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard of Winterfell. And he turns around and says, wear it on your chest like armor and then no one can ever use it against you.
Yeah.
What an amazing quote that is.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw with Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, 100%.
We all know he didn't get caught, but he is wearing that on his chest like armor. And look, no one's using that against him.
What have you got that? I've got a gold medal. To me, if as a, maybe because I've said it before, I would just, someone said you could win an NBA ring and you get a gold medal. It's like, that's pretty much about as pinnacle as you can get for basketball. If you win the FIBA World Cup
season,
if you win the World Cup as well, FIBA World Cup. Arguably.
See what I mean? There's something in that name.
Yeah.
I got it from tennis. I think they call it a golden grand slam or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Where you win a grand slam,
all of them,
everything, and you get a gold medal that year. And I thought, wow, there can't be many basketball players who have done that.
No, that's really cool.
Where I came up with the thing. So NBA, you can use it. But Kevin Durant made history as well. The first player to win 4 gold medals in men's Olympic basketball history.
Yeah, he's got involved, didn't he?
So, and I've got a picture of his gold medals for you, all of them. As his gold medals, Mark.
Yeah. Did he also, has he got the most points for a player? Something like that, I think.
Yeah, I think he has actually.
It's something like that, isn't it?
I think it might have been in the Serbian game he got past that, or maybe the game before that, Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just thought it was really, really, like you said before, going back to it, a great representation of basketball around the world. And you can look at every single team and you can look at all of the players, everyone, right through to the preliminaries. You can look at all of them and think, this is good basketball. I mean, we're talking about the preliminaries and quarterfinals. We're not forgetting like South Sudan and those teams that absolutely hammered some of these big teams that we're talking about. And you look at it and think, it almost feels like basketball's a bit more universal rather than just it's all about USA now, which is brilliant.
No, that's what I said. I think the rest of the world are catching up. But you got to say, the Americans have now won 5 straight Olympic golds.
Yep.
So they are undefeated at the Olympics since 2008. As far as winning gold medals.
Really?
Yeah.
5. Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, yes. I thought this was number 4. No, this is number 5.
And here you go. I got this one for you. Players to win an NBA title.
Yes.
NBA MVP, NBA Finals MP, and Olympic gold. Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Wow. Yeah, that's not many at all, is it? Did you...
Hang on, Kobe must have been close and... No, he didn't go. It was 2008 he went.
Yeah,
Lakers didn't win.
No. That would be... Yeah, he wouldn't have won the championship that year.
I did get this as well for you.
But we've also got to mention...
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
We've also got to mention the fact that this was the first time, I know we put it out on the socials, but this was the first time in history, the men's team and the women's team, they were both playing the same countries. So it's America versus France in the men's game and America versus France in the women's game. I thought that was kind of cool because then you go like, it's a proper...
And and each team was supporting, the women's was supporting the men's was supporting the women on the sidelines.
I kind of like that. I thought that was good. Australia got a bronze, didn't they? the Australian, is it the Opals?
Opals,
That's right.
yeah.
They got a bronze. They picked up a bronze against Belgium.
Sorry, can I just say, going back to this golden season, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Jason Tatum obviously won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics, and they've got Olympic gold. Now they've had golden seasons. That's where this idea started from.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I mean, I'd put Drew up there.
Jaylen Brown,
He's got 2.
had got in there, he would obviously have the MVP finals to add to that.
Ah, of course. Yeah, I mean, unusual why they didn't. Again, there's arguments, isn't there, that they've sat some players and take some players. There's a bit of psychology there, but I don't really know about that.
But you're talking about the women. So going back to what you said about the women,
yes.
They've won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
So
they're
they've
dominant.
not lost since 1996. However,
Yes.
the world is catching up. Did you see how close that final game was?
What, the 1-point final game? 67-66.
Yeah. Can I have another go at referees? Do you know what
What do you mean,
really...
can I have another go? Do you need to snowflake?
Snowflake warning. Do you know what really pisses me off with referees? They want their moment on stage and all the lights. So that shot went up, yeah? That shot went up. Straight away, again, I'm 500 miles away and I'm like, her foot was way past the line. Bam. Yeah?
Yep.
Everyone saw it. The play even turned around and she went like that. It was a 2. You saw it straight away. It was a 2. The refs come together. Hi, I thought it was a 2, not a 3. What did you think? Okay. And they just take away that little moment of drama. And you think, just let them, like, everyone's waiting for you to celebrate. It's like, do you know what I mean? You see it a lot in basketball games, and certain referees, I mean, dealt with it quite quick. To be fair, it was probably 10 seconds, but in some games it lasts ages, and you think, oh man, just you're ruining the game trying to get attention. Referees are better when you don't know they're there.
When you've got like Sabrina Ionescu, Brittany Griner, and the team, they were all. I mean, a lot of people were saying, why have you got people like Aya Wilson in it and you haven't got obviously certain other females playing for that? You go,
hey, if America lost that final, the world media would be turning around and saying you lost because you didn't take Caitlin Clark.
Exactly. So
I was hoping that was going to happen because I just thought it'd be funny to see all the drama online.
Well, I think what's interesting is this next time round.
Oh, she's going. Angel.
Well, more to the point.
They'll all be there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be quite a few of these players who are not going to be there as well. So they, some of these ladies are going to be bowing out now. And
there's one who's won 6 gold medals.
And you go 6 gold medals.
I don't think she played much in this one,
but still, you go, if you've got 6 gold medals, any person, you go, yeah, you've done your job there.
Yeah, they've won since 1996. I didn't go past that, but yeah.
What I liked about the game was that it was. I had it on the background.
They're the only in Olympic history to win 8 Olympic gold medals in basketball.
That is cool.
The only thing is, I would separate it. You know what I mean? I would separate it.
I don't understand why
in women's basketball.
I don't understand why they leapfrogged it, because they did it all. Not the good and bad about the Olympics is it's only 2 weeks, so you're really contracting everything, which is great for the pace of it. But trying to stay on top of it if you're doing the men's and the women's games. It's like, oh, they've done that one, then there's that one. Who's next? Oh, they're playing. Done. Was that it? Right, okay. Oh, quarterfinals, 2 days. Okay. Blimey, that's it.
I'll be honest, I only watched the women's final. I watched the women's final, and then I watched the men's. Like the men's.
I saw the semis.
Most of the games.
I saw the semis, but they were, I want to say that.
The final was great. It was exciting. I would say the final was an exciting game of basketball. And again, I was watching it going, the Americans are going to lose this. It was so close. And then I think it got to somewhere in the third, late in the third, that's when they took over. And France kept on coming back.
Because I think the Americans led out the gate. And then, if I remember right, by half time, I want to say it's neck and neck. I think France had taken the lead. Then France put their foot down, and then it was towards the end. That's when America came back.
In the fourth quarter, I was getting a little irritated by this. there were. I was going to say the word brick. I won't say that, but the French missed 6 3-pointers.
Yeah.
In like the last 4 minutes.
They were jacking a lot of stuff up.
And when you lose a game by 1, you think you missed 6 threes in last 4 minutes,
which could have at least been 2.
But I would
inside
say,
shots. I mean, I would say you've got people like Griner. She's a big lady. She's very strong on defense. They're not getting easy shots inside. Their defense, the French weren't getting easy shots.
No, and I think, yeah, the defense.
They had to rely on that.
You're making me say defense now. The defense, I think, was key in both the women's and the men's game for the Americans.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what won them. That's what won it them.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah,
I thought it was brilliant.
Even though it's a 1-point game, I still kind of look at that as maybe it's a 3-point game. It'd be just having a bit of conjecture in there because it was, it's just, she threw it up. It was like, oh, it went in. So even though it was a 1-point, it was like the game was gone.
It didn't need to have it. That was the thing. It's like, why are we having this conversation?
I didn't know why the person who passed the ball didn't shoot. I can't remember who it was.
Was that the play? Was that the play though? Was it like...
No, someone brought it down the left-hand side of the court, got past the halfway line. I thought, she's jacking up the 3. Here we go. And she passed it and the person caught it late.
Yeah.
And then was stepping and heaving it up, but had obviously stepped past the line. I'm assuming she was going in for the rebound just in case, expecting the shot, and then the ball came to her. But it looked like...
I thought she was swinging it.
No, I thought she was going to shoot. It was coming down the left-hand side of the court, and I was like, here we go. This is for the game. I think that would have been the better shot myself. I don't know.
What, just take the shot there and then?
Yeah, I mean, she was past a half court. There was still like a second going a little bit. Shoot. She's got a 3. I don't know. But look, they're under so much pressure.
Reminds me of that shot in, was it LeBron? Towards the finals when we were talking about the playoffs. And he had that moment where he sort of hesitated and no one did anything, so he just put a shot up. And they also had it for New York as well, where that's how they went through on the playoffs. DiVincenzo, I believe, threw a 3 up, missed, came back to him, bang, he threw up, and again went straight in. That's what won them the game.
Yeah. I'm going to put Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
She is the first woman to win 6 gold medals in Olympic team sport.
Oh, cool.
But I mean, she's close to retirement now. There's a little picture of her makeup of her.
She's been 6
medals.
In the league quite a long time.
So yeah. But that's that. Mark, I've got one last point to make.
Yes.
And then we can be done. And I apologise if this view... Hang on. Snowflake warning. I apologise if this view upsets anyone.
I don't.
USA. Olympic champions. However, my thoughts are, you beat Serbia. Yeah, to become Olympic champions, you had to beat Serbia. You beat South Sudan. You beat Puerto Rico. You then beat Brazil in the quarterfinals. You then took on Serbia again, who almost beat you. You then defeated France. And I think the scoreline was a lot further apart than it should have been.
Yes.
However, you didn't play Germany. You didn't play Spain. You didn't play Greece. You didn't play Australia. You didn't play Canada. I think the Americans had a really easy run-in to becoming Olympic champions than I've seen in a long time. You look at the French. They had to play Germany, Brazil, Japan, and then in the next round they beat who did they have in the quarterfinals? They played Canada. They then took on world champions Germany, and then they played America. And that was one of the reasons I was rooting for them, is because they had such a harder run-in to the final. I felt than the Americans.
Well, LeBron's quite good at having a easy run through, isn't he?
I mean, look, I know Spain. We were thinking they were going to be a lot better than they were, but they didn't take on Spain, Greece, Australia, Canada. No one from that first group. They didn't take on world champions. Their toughest game was France and Serbia, so really had two tough games. Other than that, they kind of walked their way there, and that was my. It's not criticism. It's just I'm just saying it because I thought it.
Well, the world champions will be around in what, 2 years' time?
Yeah, and that's where they can become world champions and Olympic champions, and we will say they are the greatest.
Yeah,
in the world.
But you're not going to have LeBron there. Probably won't have Steph Curry and KD there either.
No, let's see what team is. I do. I think it was the
Panathinaikos.
Their head coach turned around and said in the media, "Boston Celtics, we're the world champions. If you want to call yourself world champions, come and play us." Because you have got the European champions. They won the EuroLeague.
Yeah.
Well, no, is it the EuroLeague?
Yeah, it's EuroLeague.
And then you got the NBA. That would be great. The Super Cup, the Super Cup final, or the World Cup. What do you call it? The Team World Cup final or Super Cup? It's got to be Super Cup, isn't it?
Well, they do like the America Cup, don't they? Where they do.
That'd be great.
The ones from like South America and Mexico and stuff like that. But yeah, they don't really do one like they do. I think they're doing an African Cup as well.
That would be good.
An Asian Cup.
Have a little turn. Go somewhere and have 4 or 5 continents and go, right, there you go.
Bring the
you're
best
now
you
going
got.
to call yourself world champions. But
yeah.
And you have your NBA representation, your FIBA representation. I don't know what other ones you got, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Mark, there we go. What a show.
Yeah, that was probably the
Jesus, that was long, wasn't it?
That's what she said.
When did she say that?
I don't know. You tell me.
What? Why was I there when she said that?
I don't know. Right. So the Olympics, the last one I watched was not the 2021. I didn't watch that. I think the last Olympics I watched before that was 2016.
You're a disgrace.
Yeah. And 2012, obviously. But again, the basketball wasn't really shown that much. And so I think we can agree it was better this time round.
Oh, it was brilliant.
That they were showing it.
Brilliant.
And the actual quality of basketball was good. So hopefully there'll be some good fans that come from this. But yeah, all in all, as far as the basketball went, they did well. Let's just see what happens with everything else. As for us, we'll be back next time with another exciting episode. We've got 140 out at the moment. Go check them out. Go stream them on YouTube. We're on all the places that you can find podcasts and wonderful stuff. Anyway, for now, that's the end of the Olympics. See you in 4 years on that one. I've been Mark.
I have been Paul, and thank you to the BBC for not playing the goddamn badminton. Thank you. Hang on, this is for you. This is for you, legends. Thank you, BBC. No one likes it. Hey, the next thing we need to do is get the Olympics committee to get rid of it from the Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we do that, and then we'll do the lines.